The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new LetsGoRacingParks.com. Take a ride into this kind of action.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
LetsGoRacingParks.com is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. If you are a fan of Parks Racing, you're going to get a chance to thump your chest here today. We got some great stuff over the next half hour. We're going to start in New York with the 100th running of the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup. Here at home, Butch Reed sat out a 2-year-old that you're not going to want to miss. And also stabled on our backstretch is maybe the fastest horse in America. He was in the Grade 1 Vosburg Imperial Hint. We'll have a chance to look at him in just a little bit. So thank you for joining us. Dick Girardi, Keith Jones here on Let's Go Racing. And Dick, before we get to all the exciting stuff, how about our guy Tony Black?
He's back. He's
back.
riding. And he is winning just after turning 67 on Sunday. Keith,
yes,
you got to call
on Sunday. Yep.
Tony winning again.
Riding a horse named Papazar for Richie Vega.
Yep.
And how about off the pace? Tony didn't make the lead, but he's rallying here, and Tony's going to win another one at 67 years of age.
Yeah, and Tony is retired again. And then he's not retired. He'll be back. We love it.
All right, congratulations to our buddy Tony Black. We want to go up to New York now for the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, $1.25 miles, $750,000. And Dick, tell us about the horses that are in the field. The winner of the...
We have the winner of the Dubai World Cup,
right.
Thunder Snow. We have the defending champion of the Jockey Club Gold Cup and a recent winner of the Woodward in Diversify.
Right.
And we have a winner of the UAE Derby in Mendelssohn. And we have Discreet Lover at 45 to 1, taking on all these horses. The three of them, those horses have won a combined $12.8 million. Discreet Lover costs $10,000. He's in, and he's in with a chance.
Dick, it's unbelievable. Diversifies 3 to 1.
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
That's
You
okay.
said Discreet Lover's 45 to 1.
Yes.
Thunder Snow 6 to 1.
Yep.
Mendelssohn is 4 to 1.
Correct.
Gronkowski is in here.
Yep.
Discreet Lover.
Correct.
Does he have a chance?
He does.
He does. Mile and a quarter.
Indeed.
Let's hope for hot pace.
That's so.
Here's the call.
And Diversify is sent to the lead, and so too is Mendelssohn. These two to the front together. Diversify hard scent, but Mendelssohn's going to try to keep him company early on. These two have opened up 5 on Thunder Snow, Uno Mas Modelo. It's 5 lengths more back to Patch outside of Discreet Image. Gronkowski is second last, and Carlino is the trailer. So Diversify has made the front, but Mendelssohn will not be far behind. The opening quarter mile, a spectacular one. 22.72 seconds. Diversify at a breakneck pace up the backstretch in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Pressed hard by Mendelssohn, who's a length and a half behind. Thunder Snow allows them to go early and sits 8 lengths off the lead under Christophe Soumillon. Then Uno Mas Modelo, a big gap, 4 lengths more. Back to Discreet Image inside of Patch. Then an unhurried Gronkowski, who has plenty of blockers in front of him and a lot of pace too. Carlino is the trailer, 45.64 the half for Diversify, who heads toward the half-mile pole here at Belmont Park with a 2-length lead. Ryan Moore pumping on Mendelssohn now with a half-mile to go. Thunder Snow is 12 lengths behind as they round the far turn. Diversify just rattling along. Mendelssohn still sticking to him. He's 3/4 of a length behind. 109.13 for 3/4 of a mile. Thunder Snow is getting going. He's 6 lengths off the lead. Discreet Image next to Mas Modelo and Gronkowski. And they're into the stretch, and Diversify has been put to the whip. The main threats are coming. Mendelssohn and Thunder Snow, and Discreet Image is trying too on the far outside. They're into the final furlong. Thunder Snow has taken the lead. Discreet Image is coming. Mendelssohn is on the inside. Diversify is given way. Here comes the finish. It is going to be a photo finish, and I think it was Discreet Lover.
Well, Dick, you talked about it on the show. Discreet Lover, to win one of these races,
Yep.
would have to get a pace meltdown.
Yep.
And he got the pace meltdown. Here comes Manny Franco on the outside. Discreet Lover, our man Uriah St. Louis, gets up to win it and pays $93 to win.
Yeah, I think the tip-off that he could win one of these is when he finished third in the Whitney,
Yeah.
when he just came rolling, got that 103 buyer. I said after that race, Keith, if he ever gets one where you get a horse like Diversify getting chased through really fast fractions, which is exactly what happened. I mean, they went a half a mile in 45.64,
Yep.
3/4 in 109.13, and a mile in 133.89. But you know what? The horse still had to do it, and he had to get by the Dubai World Cup
At the
winner in
end.
the stretch to
Yeah.
do it. He did it. He got 103 buyer again. It's one of the great stories we've ever really had in the history of this racetrack. It goes back to 1974, and just congratulations to Uriah and his whole team, because when nobody believed, they always believed in this horse.
Dick, you mentioned his whole team. It's all about his family.
Absolutely.
And it set off a tremendous celebration up
should
in
have.
New York, and here's more with that.
It is going to be a photo finish, and I think it was Discreet Lover. Manny Franco waves his whip in victory.
Let him relax, let him be comfortable.
Take back, make one run. When he come flying, we know he comes flying. And I'm like, God, please, wire don't come so quick. And the wire came right when we wanted it to come.
Oh, I love him. He is such an awesome horse. That little dynamo.
He's a great one winner. He's a great one winner.
I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of this horse. He tried so hard all the time. He deserves it. He deserves this. My father deserves this. He works so hard. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness, I am so happy. I am so happy. I didn't know how it was going to turn out.
All I want to do, I gotta go cash my ticket.
And we thank Naira for helping us out with that video. And your tremendous story on the race this weekend on Let'sGoRacingParks.com.
That was an easy one. Some stories write themselves. That one did.
And we come back from break. Guess who's going to join us?
Our man.
Our man, Uriah St. Louis. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Over the past 30 years, the Mid-Atlantic Equine Medical Center has established itself as one of the premier veterinary hospitals in the country. We built our reputation working on horses of various breeds and disciplines, including Kentucky Derby and Hambletonian winners. Supported by a state-of-the-art diagnostic imaging arsenal, our team performs upwards of 400 surgical procedures every year. You choose a horse because of its heritage. Your hospital should be no different.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It is time to welcome in the man of the day, the man of the hour, maybe even the man of the year, and that's trainer Uriah St. Louis. And it's Grade 1 winning trainer Uriah St. Louis. Uriah, from all of us here on Let's Go Racing, congratulations. Have you had a chance to process what it is that you've just accomplished over the weekend?
Still trying to process it. It's one of those feelings you will never forget. I mean, I slept that night, got up, slept, got up. I didn't know what to do. I was still pinching myself. It's one of the greatest feelings you could ever have.
Uriah, you were born and grew up in Trinidad, came to the United States at 15 years of age. How did you get yourself involved in horse racing?
When I was about 5, my sister took me to a track in Trinidad, and I saw a gray horse and I fell in love with it. And I just kept, after I got a little older, I used to go to the racetrack, and it had a horse named Oceanic, which was gray again. I stayed, and I just kept liking horses. Then I came to the United States. I went to junior high school for 1 year, and then I went to East New York Vocational Technical High School. That's right outside of Queens, on the end of Brooklyn, and I used to run over to Aqueduct every day making a wager. Then I got a job with American Toad, fixing computers, and that was it.
And then at one point, didn't your wife say to you, hey man, you're always betting on these horses, why don't you start training them or owning them or
Right.
something?
She told me, she said, you keep betting horses and losing your money. You don't know nothing about it. You think you're a handicapper. Why you don't go someplace? So we moved out, we sold everything out and went out to Oklahoma. We was in Claremont, Oklahoma. Know a guy named Robert Hayes who taught me everything. We just kept going, and we got better, and we end up with Discreet Lover.
And you bought him Uriah for $10,000. You kept putting him in races like the Ohio Derby, even way back to his 3-year-old year. You brought him out of your barn to run him here in the PA Derby. Everybody says, what is he doing? I mean, you know, you heard it from everybody. What were you doing? What did you see in this horse?
Well, the one good thing about it, when you're the owner, you're the trainer, you're the groom, you're the exerciser, you're the hot walker, you make all the decisions. So I decided, I think this horse could be that good. Let's take the chance, and my wife was behind me all the way. My son was in college and my daughter, and they said, go for it. If it worked out, fine. If it don't work out, you're the only one who's going to look like the goat. So they say you could be the hero or the goat. So right now I'm the hero. I was a goat for a long time.
Uriah, tell us a little bit about Discreet Lover. I mean, he is really, this is his 5-year-old year. He has really come into his own. What's happened with him?
Well, he's real smart. He does everything real good. He don't overtrain. If he's on the racetrack and a horse pass him, so be it. And if he's breezing, unless you really ask him, he will just breeze slow. He will breeze anyhow you ask him to do it. As a 2-year-old, the first race we ran him, he got beat about 8-9 lengths, but he didn't know nothing. He was 56-1. The second time, Catty Lynch horse beat him. He bounced him, and we thought it was going to disqualify him, but it didn't, and that was a blessing in disguise, because we went to Saratoga. He got beaten 2 3/4 lengths in his 3rd race, and we brought him back, and we said, you know, he couldn't lose his 4th race. He won it by 8 years, a maiden special weight, but the pot was, I think, $88,000 or $90,000. Wow. They used to have the double purse, and after that, I said, this is a nice horse, and we just kept trying him. And as a 3-year-old, we always give him from like December to February off. And then he gets a little better. And every year he kept making more money, and this year is his bust out year.
Describe the last 50 yards of the Jockey Club Gold Cup, what you and your family were going through.
I was praying. I said, God, please don't just run second. You run second, they'll say, oh, he just put him in there and he runs second. I say, if you win this, it's the rest of your life, you will have a great life. And it was amazing. When he, at the top of the stretch, we thought we had a chance because he got him outside and he started closing. And with a 16 to go, I'm like, get up, please get up, get up. And when they got to the wire, we know he got up.
Now, Uriah, you're about to head to the Breeders' Cup. I mean, it is the biggest day in the sport of thoroughbred racing, and you're going to be there. You're going to have a chance to compete. Have you had a chance to think about that yet?
I think we could win that race because we beat the best in New York at 1.25 miles. The race in Kentucky is going to be run basically the same way because it got a lot of speed, and he could just sit off of it and make that one run, and the jockey is confident as much as I. So we're going for it. We have nothing to lose.
Uriah, a career-defining moment for you. We are so thrilled for you to have you join us here on the show after it, and we can't do anything but wish you the greatest success and enjoy the heck out of yourself down in Kentucky and come back with that victory. I mean, we're going to be rooting for you so hard, but congratulations on really just a career-defining victory.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, let's get to more racing action. It's brought to you by Chapin Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. And Dick, we moved now to our local race of the week, and rarely do we have a 2-year-old maiden special weight as our local race of the week, but the fans are going to see why here in just a minute. 5.5 furlongs for $40,000, and the favorite is number 4, Maximus Mischief, 4 to 5 for trainer Butch Reed. And Dick, he is a son of Into Mischief, and there have been little hints from the barn area that this horse can run a little bit.
Yeah, more than hints, Keith. I actually saw his last work. It was the day before the PA Derby that Friday. Butch and Ginny Reed, his wife, said, hey, you want to see this? And I was already out there anyway. It was pretty awesome looking. No surprise that he was bet down to 4 to 5. He was a $340,000 purchase as the 2-year-old sales at Timonium. Chuck Zachney and a partner. Of course, that worked out pretty well for Chuck back in 2004 when they bought a Fleet Alex. This is a real talent, and everybody's going to get to see what we're about to see in a minute, but that's why we're featuring a maiden race.
And Dick, this was a good maiden special.
Very much so.
Number 1, Motown Charlie Brown for Eddie Coletti with, that's the Uptown Charlie Brown stud guys.
And Eddie was very high on this horse. I texted him the day after. I said, did you really like your horse? He said, yeah, I really liked him.
Jason Service is in here with the horse. Mike Trombetta, another horse that ran real well in his debut. So this is not just a walkover.
It looks like a pretty loaded maiden race on paper, and it was actually split into 2 divisions. The next race was also 5.5 2-year-olds. But this is some show. Fasten your seatbelts.
Maximus Mischief. Here's the call.
Maximus Mischief just past the half-mile pole, is sprinted clear to a 2-length lead. Motown Charlie Brown is in hot pursuit second. Another 3 back to sit down. Grandpa third. Banknote begins to make a run down inside fourth. Universal Payday is in between horses. And then it's Fontana de Oro and Dabrowski. But Maximus Mischief comes to the quarter pole and has opened up a 3.5 length lead. Banknote is down nearest the rail. On the outside, it's Motown Charlie Brown with Universal Payday fourth between horses. But Maximus Mischief is into the stretch. With a furlong to go, it's now a 4-length lead as Frankie Pennington, just under a hand ride, takes a peek back, and nobody's gaining on Maximus Mischief. Boy, he was good in the morning, and he was good here this afternoon. He is wrapped up here at the end. Maximus Mischief running away at the end in an impressive debut.
Dick, there wasn't anything about that effort that wasn't absolutely spectacular. He was out like a shot.
Right.
I mean, just as athletic to get out of the gate like that.
Yep.
And then through the last quarter mile, he's not even extending himself, and he's flying home. Dick wins by 8 3/4, $3.80 to win. That was an awesome debut.
Yeah, I called you Monday and said, Keith, you've been calling races here for a long time. Tell me a 2-year-old first-time starter that you were more impressed with, and your answer was?
I have a hard time thinking of anybody. I mean, Smarty Jones's standout race was his second race.
Right.
But as a first time out, this was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think the plan now is to try to find an A other than, not to rush into stakes races, but if this horse isn't a stakes horse, we didn't see what we just saw. So it's just a question of what? This is a 2-year-old. It's now October. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but he's by a really hot sire.
Yes.
And boy, it's great to see Butch and Jenny have a nice horse. Obviously, Chuck has had nice horses before. We'll watch, and we'll be watching very closely for Maximus Mischief.
You mentioned the split divisions. The next division was 2 seconds slower.
Correct.
And again, he wasn't even trying.
Yeah, and I loved how he beat the gate, and Butch said that's typically not how he worked out of the gate.
Right.
So maybe he finally got into a race and said, I don't even want to be near these other horses. And he wasn't, not for long.
Maximus Mischief. Dick, let's get back up to Belmont Park, the Grade 1 Vosburg. And who does this feature but none other than Imperial Hint. He's 1-5 for our trader, our buddy Louis Carvajal. And Dick, you look at his performances, his numbers, he is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, he's really good almost every time. At 6 furlongs, Keith, he's been almost unbeatable for 2 years. The only horse that beat him was Roy H., who caught the better part of the track in the Breeders' Cup Sprint at Del Mar last year. And this time, Imperial Hint basically catches the kind of a field in a Grade 1 that he caught in that allowance race here last year. It's not much. It looks pretty easy on paper.
He completely lays over this field. He's 1-5. He's prepping for the Breeders' Cup, and let's go up to New York and watch Imperial Hint.
Imperial Hint has made the lead. Still crazy trying to stick with him early through a 22:09 opening quarter mile. Mr. Crow is running in third on the inside. Silver Ride is fourth, forged between horses. Then Maniacal on the inside, and Sight for Sore Eyes at the back of the pack. Imperial Hint carries his speed around the far turn, and he's getting away to a 2-length lead here. He's clear from Still Crazy. Mr. Crow has come through on the inside and is now taken second after a half mile in 44.37 seconds. They're into the stretch. And Imperial Hint's under a hand ride here. Javier Castellano takes a peek back. There's no one coming. Mr. Crow is second. Silver Ride is third on the outside. It's just so easy. So easy for this little rocket ship. Imperial Hint geared down in the Vosburg.
This horse is seriously fast. Without even trying, he goes 5/8 in, what was it, 55.87, I think?
Yep.
And then, I mean, seriously geared down at the end. It finishes out in 108.27, pays $2.40 to win. Absolutely He is so fast.
Yeah, never as a figure more irrelevant. He got a 99. Forget that. We know he's capable of running up in the 108, 109 range. It reminded me in some ways of the Don Levine, which was here on September 4th of 2017, which is prep for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. But yeah, it was some show. This is some horse. He's tiny. When you look at him next to the other horses, you're going, how is this happening? But he's got this incredible motor. He will go to Churchill Downs as the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, Imperial Hand. So we got barn 23 for our man Uriah St. Louis going with Discreet Lover, other end of the stable area. Barn 4, which is also Butch Reed's barn. We got this super fast 2-year-old, and we got the fastest horse in the country, all here at Parks.
Within just a couple of hours up in New York, 2 horses stabled back here are Grade 1 winners. I'm not sure that's ever happened.
Well, we think pretty confidently, Keith, it's never happened before. I can't imagine. I talked to a couple of people who've been around. They said, why would, there's not that many days where there's 2 Grade 1s anywhere, much less have 2 Parks horses run and win. It was tremendous.
Absolutely sensational. Dick, let's get to the West Coast, the big race of the weekend, the Grade 1 Awesome again. The older handicap horse is prepping here at 9 furlongs for $300,000. Number 6, Accelerate, gets bet down to 2-5 for trader John Sadler. He's become an absolute monster.
He is having a phenomenal season. He's only a neck loss to City of Light in the Oaklawn Handicap from being undefeated. And not just undefeated, he's been crushing horses. In the Pacific Classic, he won by 12.5 over a pretty good horse named Pavel and got 115 buyer figures. So, yeah, right now he is the favorite for the Breeders' Cup Classic.
8-5 on the second choice. And look who's back.
He's back.
West Coast with Bob Baffert. Dick, since running in the Pennsylvania Derby and winning, obviously, by over 7 that day, he's only run 3 races since then.
All great races.
Yeah.
3rd in the Breeders' Cup Classic, 2nd in the Pegasus, both times behind Gunrunner, the horse of the year, and then 2nd to Thunderstone in the Dubai World Cup. But obviously something happened coming back from the World Cup. Haven't seen him since the 31st of March.
Awesome again from Santa Anita. Here's the call.
Shades of Victory, 3/4 to West Coast, a similar margin, Isotherm. Smith allowing West Coast to stride up and join Shades of Victory at the 5/8 pole. The pace quite good for this distance. West Coast is a bit fired up. He's fresh and he's fast. West Coast kicks to a 1-length lead. Shades of Victory is second. Isotherm is a half-length back, edging off the rail, and Accelerate moves to a closer 4th out wide. He's suddenly within a length of the leader. West Coast almost joined by Isotherm. Some cat and mouse tactics past the half-mile pole. Accelerate is a half-length back out 3 wide. Shades of Victory was swimming in the deep end of the pool today. The Lieutenant and Prime Attraction, the last couple. It's Isotherm, West Coast the inside. Accelerate joins them smartly out wide. West Coast is relegated to 3rd, and at the quarter pole it's Accelerate into the lead. From Isotherm, and West Coast under the whip tries to hang tough along the rail. They're clear of the Lieutenant. Prime Attraction, 3/16 left to go. It's Accelerate with West Coast dogged on the inside. Isotherm between them running a bold race. West Coast and Accelerate, a riveting renewal of the Awesome again. Accelerate on the outside with his head in front close to home. West Coast running out of puff, has given a good account of himself, but Accelerate keeps powering on.
Well, Accelerate did not get off to a very good start and kind of put himself a little bit, maybe halfway behind the 8 ball. And he still turns in a terrific performance here. He's really starting to gear up and pull away at the end. Wins by better than 2, pays $2.60 to win. And Dick, he will head to the Breeders' Cup and try to break that John Sadler jinx.
Yeah, the bizarre 0 for 41. Now, John has never gone to the Breeders' Cup with a horse like this in any division where he's the overwhelming favorite in a race. I thought Accelerate was really good in the race because, as you said, he had a lot to overcome. But the concern is it wasn't very fast. Maybe that's because of all that happened during the race, but it gives you a little bit of pause for concern as he heads to Churchill. West Coast in his first race since March 31st, I thought ran well. Baffert was on record saying he didn't expect to win. It was strictly a prep for the Breeders' Cup. The other concern I would have is, why is Isotherm so close to these horses? He's a turf horse, and he was still hanging around at the end. He was 57 to 1. I'm not sure exactly what to make of this race, but we'll watch the workouts, we'll listen to Baffert, we'll listen to Sadler, and we'll make some decisions. Can they beat, I mean, really, can these horses beat Discreet Lover?
They're going to have to deal with Discreet Lover.
Think
I mean, really, absolutely.
How cool is that? He'll probably be 30 to 1 again. They'll just ignore him again.
Dick, let's get to our next one. It's just absolutely amazing. Let's get to our next break. We come back here. We have weekly awards to give out. Jockey just won 5 this weekend.
I wonder who our trainer of the week will be.
You think we can figure that out? We'll be right back after this.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing, the weekly awards brought to you by the Turning for Home program. Log on to their website and get involved, turningforhome.org. Dick, 5 wins here on Monday, none other than Frankie Pennington.
Again.
He is so far ahead in the jockey standings, it's just unbelievable.
He's going to get 5 in a row, Keith, which is unprecedented. He had 4 in a row, tied him with Kendrick Carmouche for the most ever consecutively. Frankie's going to hold the record here at Parks by himself at the end of the year.
And our trainer of the week.
I think it might just be Uriah St. Louis. As you said, could be the trainer of the year after that.
Uriah, you are our trainer of the week. Let's get to race recap now. We're going to head back out to Santa Anita for the Grade 1 Zenyatta.
Yes.
And Dick, Abel Tasman gets bet down to 10 cents on the dollar.
Yep.
Where is she?
She never really runs at all.
At all.
What is going on here, Keith? I don't know.
10 cents on the dollar. Vale Dory, they put blinkers on, and she's gone.
She runs great at 11 to 1. Show money came in on Abel Tasman, who runs 5th.
Yeah.
Never picks up her feet at any time. 432,000 out of 474. So Vale Dory pays $24.60 to win and $40.60 to show. Baffert said afterward, and of course he won the race with Vale Dory. Gets a win in your end with her. He said after the race there was some sick illness going through the barn. Maybe that's what happened, but I mean, Abel Tasman never runs a bad race.
Oh.
That wasn't a bad race. She never ran at all.
Well, Dick, let's take a look at the 2-year-olds in the Grade 1, the newly named American Pharaoh, and who has the favorite, of course. It's Bob Baffert, game winner, son of Candy Ride. And Dick, he's 2 to 5, and he's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like the winner when he came out of the gate. This is a really talented 2-year-old. This is going to be 3 in a row, undefeated.
2 Grade 1s.
97 buyer. He will go to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, which will now be on the Friday. Remember, all the 2-year-old races are on Friday. He will go as the favorite, and if he wins 6 months later, he's liable to be the favorite in the Bob Baffert Kentucky Derby.
Dick, eye on racing, and another big weekend as we have horses prepping for the Breeders' Cup. We have the Plum Pretty here, which is our stake, the Grade 1 Champagne to New York, the Breeders' Futurity, and the Shadwell Turf Mile down at Keeneland, so another big weekend.
Yeah, this is the final big weekend, so watch those videos, get ready, and then start making some, not decisions, but start getting a sense of what you might be looking for a month from today at Churchill.
We got some news and notes.
We do.
Yeah, we'll be right back with that after this.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing News and Notes, brought to you by Pewter Stable. Their website, pewterstable.com. Log on, become an owner today. He's Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones, and Dick John's service was out in Oklahoma, at Remington Park for the Oklahoma Derby, and had 2 horses in here. And look at this finish.
Yeah, Diamond King has been in front from the start, and it looks like he's going to win. Then there's horses bobbing heads. He ends up finishing 3rd, a stride past the wire. I think Diamond King was in front again. Lone Sailor got up to win the race.
Dick, I watched the race, and it's like a lot of times the photo finish, you can tell who won.
I
had no idea.
Nah, there was no way to call that one.
But that was a heartbreaker for Cassius King and those guys. So, but anyway, that's going to wrap up our show. And again, we congratulate our man, Uriah St. Louis. Unbelievable that he wins the Grade 1.
And I wrote about it this week on Let'sGoRacingParks.com. 2 grade winners, 1 winners coming out of Parks the same day.
Another great story from Mr. Girardi. Join us next week on Let's Go Racing.